Hello and welcome back to the Hytale podcast, the premier source for Hytale news and podcast content. My name is Myne. I'm with CanadianFlash or Chris,
Hey.
and we've got a question for you. What is Hytale? I mean, we all know what Hytale
Well, we
is,
know what
but
Hytale is. It's a game that combines the
yeah,
scope of a sandbox with the depth of a roleplay game.
yeah, but
That's about
what
it.
really is Hytale? Because we've got that question asked a little bit and answered a little bit on Twitter from one of the developers, specifically
Hell yeah.
the executive producer and the game director of Hytale.
Seems like the only
And
man to be giving us news right now, John Hendricks.
yeah, so let me get the exact
Yeah.
distinction right here. The original question, yeah, so it's all spawned from a Reddit comment actually that he posted. So usually he posts tweets. Now he decided to go on Reddit, and it
Classic
was in
John.
reply to a Hakon thread, I believe, about him posting the new dog variants of Minecraft, being like, "Oh, I would like that if Minecraft had them," I would like that if Hytale had a bunch of doggies. And then he replied, "I would love to see dog breeds in Hytale with different models, behaviors, and abilities." Okay. Which, I mean, we'll get into because it's interesting because we do have different. I'll get into it. There's some like questionable, dialogue about that.
Yes.
And then he replied, "To be fair," or like I tweeted this on Twitter, and he replied to me for context. "To be fair, I can almost always say yes. When there is no distinction between in Hytale and in Orbis. Content creation is not a limiting factor. The 2+ years did make me smile, but the relevant effort now is to make it that adding content is fun and powerful." I don't understand what that second part is. The plus 2 years did make me smile, because
Well,
that didn't really.
he's been with Hytale for what, at least 2 years, right? So
Yeah. So it might just be how long he's been working.
yeah, I
And
don't know.
then he asked, someone got asked him, "In your estimation, what's the percentage of exploring Orbis than other planets?" And he
This is a
replied,
good question.
"We
This is a
got
good one.
beta. We got beta
He
information,
said the
launch information.
beta. So beta confirmed? I mean,
Beta confirmed.
beta confirmed. Beta confirmed.
For beta/launch, Orbis will be a high percentage. It's our focus up front. We're also excited to see what players and content creators do. My hope is that you run us over."
So this is the most news we've ever gotten about beta since they've had the beta sign up, which is pretty freaking epic, not gonna lie. So, and a lot of people were trying to speculate what would come in the beta, and I mean, he pretty much sort of in his own way answered it. He said
Yeah.
Orbis will be majority of the beta, or a high percentage of the beta, which I mean that's the most obvious what we thought was going to be anyway. So that's exciting, Myne. He said the word beta. That just gets the whole community on steroids, pretty much. You love to see it, honestly.
Yeah.
Nothing better.
And what's interesting is he says for beta and launch, Orbis will be a high percentage. It's our focus up front. We're also excited to see what players and creators can do. And so this kind of like is a smack in the face to all the people that said Hytale's not a game, it's a platform.
Right.
But Hytale is a game.
Its core is a
offers
game.
a platform. Offers a platform. And so I know, I mean, who's the people that say that? I think Ethan said that. I know Hakon says that, because he's trying to get he's in the creator community.
Bro, they got a massive community there. It's huge.
Content creation and all that. And they're always like, Hytale's not a game, actually. Hytale's just a platform that it's kind of like Roblox, where everyone just makes their game.
So
no, Hytale is a game. Orbis and the adventure mode is their large percentage, and then there's a bunch of other smaller percentages, such as model maker, such as servers, such as the capital, such as all of this. And I assume Orbis, the game that we are all looking forward to, the game that's the majority of the trailer, will be the majority of Hytale.
And dude, for the common player, like Hytale, the adventure mode is going to be the main game. Like, yeah, of course, people like us and Hawk-On and all these developers are going to take it to the next level. But just for the common player, it's just going to be like, oh, kind of a new version of Minecraft and with
Exactly.
better
I think
bosses and
it's gonna be
mobs.
1% of the player base at least. Maybe at the start, it'll probably get more. Is going to actually take advantage of these content creation tools. Everyone's gonna play with them at least once. Everyone's
Oh
gonna be
yeah.
like, "Oh my god, that's the movie tool. I can take a
Wow.
cool photo of myself and then
Making the
never touch it of
Avengers,
myself."
yeah,
You know,
stuff like that.
it's probably gonna be a 1% because you gotta remember how huge the player base is gonna be with all the
Right.
mobile players too. Mobile players are not gonna be coding. There's gonna be a
They're
few. They're
not
not
gonna
gonna
be
be
texting
coding.
on their phone.
You
They're gonna
know,
be coding or what is it, C plus or C sharp on their phone to make a mod.
I don't know, but they're not doing that. I can tell you that right now. All the Xbox and PS4 players, they're not going to be coding.
They're gonna be playing the
You know
adventure
what I
mode.
mean?
Like maybe they'll tap into the multiplayer.
99% of the players are going to be players and not makers. It'll change over time once they've played enough and they're like, oh, maybe I want to try this, or maybe I want to do this, right?
Right. This is upon launching.
99% are going to be the creators, and so
Yeah.
yeah,
The hook
like,
for Hytale is the adventure mode in Orbis. That's just...
exactly. And so, I think a lot of people, Hawk-On, might be a little jaded about how important, or important's not the right word, but how large the creator community is because, with Hytale pre-release community, it is a large percentage. I'd say like 10% of people are some sort of artist or creator or something like that, or want to do something like that.
Right.
And that's great, but the casual audience is left. That's why.
Yes, that's why our voice is very loud right now. I have to say, there's a lot of us, but.
And so, there's more distinctions about the difference between Hytale and Orbis, and I've heard about this before because John has talked a lot before, and so Hawk-On, as he is, responded to it saying, "Will there be proximity chat in Hytale?"
Here we go again.
Then someone said, "If you ask enough times, then one day it might happen." And Hawk-On replied to that. He said he can almost always answer yes as long as we can say in Hytale, because in Hytale does not mean in Orbis. And John Hendricks said it's added difficulty when the question is about something from Earth. Which, I mean...
That's a little confusing. What does that mean? Because other games have proximity chat, but does Hytale...
What does from Earth mean? Does that...
I mean, real world is proximity chat. Like, if I'm in one corner of my house... and then you're in the other corner of the house. Yeah,
that's a bad example because also like water exists in the real world. Oh, hot water's not in high. You know what?
Yeah,
I think it's more of like you are in the real world and you are now talking in Hytale. I think that's kind of what he meant. And then I asked him, would a text chat be from Earth as well? And he didn't respond to that. But I can see the argument for text chat being. Not from Earth, because then it's coming from your character, but your voice is you. I don't know. That's kind of confusing.
A little confusing. I would like some clarity on that. It's kind of a gray area right now.
Yeah, because there's no way there's not a text chat. They're just not going to do that. There needs to be some sort of communication between players.
Yeah, you can't just nod your head or jump and shift.
Right, like, which was the confirmed communication method in the open player test or whatever it was, play test.
What, shifting and nodding your head?
Yeah, it was like jumping, shifting, and just nodding your head. So they didn't have any sort of communication there. But there's no way in the full release they don't add some sort of text chat.
Now, there's got to be a text. Like, it's just what people are used to. Every game pretty much, right, has like a... Yeah. So
even games that don't have a voice chat for whatever reasons.
Does Fortnite have a text chat? I've never played Fortnite, but does Fortnite have
Fortnite, but Fortnite has voice chat.
Right. Okay.
And in the lobby, there's a text chat. So yeah.
So they do, yeah. So like, if you're waiting for a game to start, there's gotta be some way to communicate. You can still
text to your lobby. Yeah. So.
And I wouldn't be surprised if you're doing like multiplayer games. There's a Teams chat as well too, instead of just having voice.
Yeah, I'm very interested how he goes to justify or explain what is from Earth now, because he added this into the discussion between
Yeah.
the in Orbis, in Hytale from
So,
Earth.
is
What
there
is from
air?
Earth and what is in Hytale versus what is in Orbis. You know what I mean?
What, can you poop in Hytale? I don't know. I mean, there's
Well,
poop. There is poop
poop
in
is in
Hytale.
Hytale. I
Poop is in
wonder if a
Hytale.
human. I don't think humans can poop, but we're definitely going to see that mod, and I will be the
Yeah.
first to review that. You know, I'm doing
I'm
that.
throwing that poop on somebody. I mean, we know Buddha Cat loves taking poop to the face, but we'll got to see if other guys like
Yeah, that's a crazy comment to say, by the way, but I mean, it's
it.
true.
Hey,
And
he did
so,
it to himself. They shared that video years ago.
yeah. And so there was one last comment that he replied to that's worth listening
Mhm.
to. And it's someone saying, for me, the distinction would be Orbis, a game in Hytale, Hytale, a platform for games and social interactions. And John said, bingo.
Damn, someone cracked the code. Heinz
And
animation.
so I already see Hawkon when I originally said Hytale, it is a game and
Hell.
not a platform. I already see him. The comments probably already posted of him being like, "Excuse me, Hytale as a platform." I understand. I understand that when discussing these terms, Hytale is a platform. But for 99% of the user base, Hytale comes out. They're gonna see it as a game, and they're not gonna touch the platform necessarily.
Right.
Am I making sense? Am I
You're
like
making sense.
speaking
You're
into the
no,
void?
you're definitely making sense. To me, I see Hytale as like kind of half and half both.
Yeah.
Just from our perspective. But if I was just a random like Joe Smith coming out of the street seeing the Hytale trailer, I'd be like, Venture mode, Dragon, boom, I'm gonna play that. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna
And
instantly
like
go into
this clarification is for launch. Like everyone at
right.
launch, they're gonna play the game. When
Yeah.
like 3 years down the line, they haven't added any story mode. We are begging and begging on YouTube and Twitter and Twitch and Facebook
Twitter.
Gaming
Yeah.
that they need to add a more storyline, and they just haven't done anything. And there's no more story to do in the adventure
Mhm.
mode. Obviously we're gonna all just be playing on custom player servers, all just be playing in the capital, because that's kind of the natural progression of Minecraft
I'll
as
be there
well.
no matter what.
We played Minecraft single player mode. Well, I didn't, but
I didn't either.
the player base played Minecraft single player mode until kind of bored, and then everyone just started playing servers. Everyone just started playing mods and all of that,
Because
and that's where 99% of people are now.
playing with
And
your friends is just so much more fun, and just other players who aren't even your friends anyway. Like, why would you want to fight a zombie when you can fight another
exactly,
player?
exactly. I feel like the take that I'm giving, even though like it makes perfect sense to me, I feel like it's gonna rustle some jimmies in
Well,
the comment. I
you
feel
know what?
like
You're
there's
gonna
a
have
lot of
Hawkon in
people
the
that
comment section. He's gonna be
I
roasting
know
you.
for a fact Hawkon's disagreeing with me, but he's also biased because he hosts a creator Discord and he is advocating for creator rights and is only in that sphere, but he doesn't see the bigger picture. I'm not worried
Dude,
about
he's making his
Hawkon.
own union. Like that's how crazy it
Exactly.
is.
I'm
Like,
not worried about Hawkon in this instance. I'm talking about you guys, the main
we're for the
Hytale podcast viewers. What's your take on this? Do you think Hytale, caters to the larger majority as a game or as a platform? And how do you think it's going to evolve? Do you think the game is going to stay relevant for years to go on, or do you think that platform side is going to creep in, kind of like how I think it is? I think it's interesting discussion. I'd like to see what you guys think about it, because we also have a little bit of a jaded mind since we are creators and we are
Mhm.
kind of Hytale super fans.
Right, but
That's a
kind of
super cringe thing to say, but fuck it, we host a podcast. I don't know what else to say. You know what I mean?
yeah. But also, I think the podcast is also it could also lean towards new viewers as well. We don't put it super in depth that only people who were in the
Exactly.
creator club union would understand.
We don't talk about like C++ is in the
Yeah.
Hytale legacy engine or something like that. Or,
Yeah, we talk
try to
about
make it
fun
so
stuff
that
like Hytale spins. Hytale spins the goat.
exactly. Oh, we can mention that. We can
We
mention that.
can. They used us again.
Yeah, Hytale Spins has used us again. Their algorithm has decided, hey, you know what? We missed you.
Yeah,
We
we're
missed
back.
you. It's only been 3 weeks, but we missed
I was in
you.
the last one, and now it's me, you, and Connor in the
Yeah,
next
and
one.
so their latest episode is a 5-minute rip of the Connor interview. So
So
you know
Connor
what?
can copyright them too. Let's go.
Well, he doesn't own the rights to that
He
one, but
doesn't. It's
technically
okay.
he
We
can.
do. We own the
We
rights.
do. So, there are 3 Hytale Spins videos now up on their channel
Hmm.
of our podcast, just raw 5-minute clips.
It's so funny.
Not under fair use, not under permission or crediting or anything.
Yeah.
And so, in theory, we can strike all 3 of their videos for copyright and, in theory, delete their channel.
We could delete the spins. Which is interesting. Hytale Spins. Hey, if you guys want to apologize, you know where to find us.
I would love to have the owner of
Oh my
Hytale
God.
Spins on the podcast.
I want to.
We
Is
do
there a way to
have the.
find out what email is used for that account? I was
I
gonna
don't
say
think so.
I don't think that's possible.
Unless
But I would love to.
they have their about me
There's no
email.
shot.
They
Hytale-
don't. They don't.
Hytale Spins. Let me look this up. Real
Yeah, you've already tried. We've went on their Instagram. They have an Instagram where they
Which
post
is
what
so
is it,
random.
Roblox memes. Yeah, they post.
I think that's
Roblox
also
memes
a
on their
bot though,
Instagram.
because I've tried DMing them and they don't reply.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
There's no way to get in touch with Hytale Spins. I wish there was. They don't reply to their comments. I would love to have them on the podcast, and maybe we might spare their channel. I don't have a certain timeline. None of us do for when to strike Hytale Spins down and delete them all right. I think right now they're not really a threat. Hytale is dead. It is in the most dead time, in my opinion, that it's ever been in terms of views, in terms of interactions on social media. And so right now, I don't know. There's not much of a buzz, but I think when Hytale picks up again, and
We need a blog.
a blog with once there's a release date and people start flocking back, once people are interested in Hytale again, people will find out about Hytale Spins. We'll talk about it, so our the larger community will know about it, and then we'll make a saga. We'll make a stream about it where we do it live. We're gonna make this a giant thing. We are going to go into an all-time war. It's gonna go into the Hytale timeline. It already was
in the history
last
books.
year. If you guys remember the Hytale timeline, the official one that I made, which is the official one.
It's official.
At the very end of last year, we went into the Great War. That's what it's called. Great War. We got our first strike down. The video got deleted.
It was sick. Yeah.
It was amazing.
Myne, right now.
About YouTube strikes,
right now, we're at checkmate. Yeah. We're at checkmate with Hytale Spins. We could hit the button and delete that channel. But
we have the nuclear launch codes, if you could say that.
They're gone, dude.
And so for a little context about YouTube, because I'm talking with context right now, but a lot of people probably don't know this.
Right. Describe.
If you get a copyright strike on your channel, you get a single strike. It doesn't really do much. It counts as a warning. It takes down the video, and it lasts for 90 days. If you get a second strike, your channel now has 2 strikes, and it's under
15 minutes, I think. I don't think you can make money off those videos.
You lose access to a lot of features on your YouTube account, and you're basically at risk of termination. And if you get 3 strikes, Chris, you're the baseball guy. What happens with 3 strikes?
You are out. That is what happens. You're gone. Sit back on the bench, buddy. Start a new channel that will probably do the exact same thing as Hytale Spins, and we'll take that one down too.
Right.
Yep.
With 3 strikes, you're out. And they last 90 days, is what I said. So last October is when we did the first strike.
Yeah.
And if anyone here is familiar with a calendar, it's been 90 days. So that strike is not relevant anymore. And so when the second video came up, we realized, ooh, you know what?
Okay, we gotta wait.
If we strike this down, we're just wasting our time, because there's no way they do it 3 times in a 90-day period. Now they have done it 2 and 3 weeks, so they might.
Yeah. So let's see. When
they might decide to do it faster. Yeah. By the time we decide to strike them, I don't want to know how many videos they've stolen. We might get 5 or 6 strikes down. It'll be a glorious day. I hope everyone listening to this and everyone familiar with Hytale Spins will tune into the live stream whenever we take them down officially. I don't
What
know
a
if it'll
day.
be on one of our personal live streams or the Hytale podcast stream. It'd be kind of amazing if that's our first stream on the podcast YouTube
Winning the
channel.
war.
Yeah.
That would be
So
electric.
that
That's
would also
electric
be
content.
incredible. The thumbnail for the live stream would be inspired by Hytale spins.
Has to
So
be.
yeah,
We would have to update our channel's YouTube banner as well because we'd be winning. Because they got more
yeah,
subs than us still. We're almost at 1,000. We're at what are we at? 800.
880 or something like that.
880. Hey, hit that sub button by the way. If you
Yeah,
guys
we're
want
at
us to beat
880
Hytale Spins.
subs. Hytale Spins has gotten themselves to 2K. Our goal, is to try to beat Hytale Spins. So if you haven't subscribed yet, it would be a massive honor and very patriotic towards the Hytale nation.
Yes,
if I may say
it's not
so
just us
myself.
that hate Hytale Spins. It's everybody.
It is the developers that hate Hytale Spins.
They said that Noxie's got arrested, John Hendricks got fired. Like that didn't happen.
Yeah, we've gotten word from certain developers that obviously certain developers find their content amusing and how they just watch an AI kind of scramble and put apart things. But there's also some developers that are just not fans of it because they put the game into a negative context, and so they're not fans of it. I think everyone will be happy, and some that enjoyed it a little bit sad when Hytale Spins goes, but I think it's going to be a glorious day and a day to mark in your history books.
Yes.
We don't know when that day comes, but
we'll pop the champagne.
We now have the nuclear launch codes, and so that's something to be excited about.
Yes. Okay, let's get into some viewer questions now.
Yeah. If you want to ask us some questions to answer on the podcast, go in our Discord, the most active Hytale Discord is linked down in the description. You'll get a pre-Hytale role, and that role will stay with you forever. And once Hytale releases, it will never be
You'll be cool.
again.
You can sell that account for millions, I'm just saying.
You actually can. Can. Like we said in a previous Discord, since account selling is against terms of service, if we don't know about it,
you're good. Just don't tell us.
I'm looking the other way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for real.
Just get 2 accounts so that your actual account has the pre-Hytale role, because you want to be cool as well. I remember was there a question last time where we were like, ooh, that's kind of long, we don't want to answer it?
I think so. I think that was, we're like, we'll save that for the next pod. I remember that correctly.
Unlockable skills, voice lines, faction expansion. Oh yeah, there were like 8 questions in one. Okay.
Sweet. Let's read it out here. We got time.
So since John confirmed it, questions arise.
Yes.
This is from Demoness. How would this expansion look like? Is it a progression, like we can see them building, or instant, like something happens when you wake up after sleep?
I think we've touched on this.
Personally,
I'd like to see them actually building instead of just load out of render distance.
Yeah.
They're doing nothing, load back into render distance, they have a new hut. I wouldn't like that, but if that's the only way to do it, I guess it's better than nothing. But personally, I'd like to see maybe they have like, I don't know, some sort of building materials, maybe some scaffolding. They like took out the dirt maybe where their house is going to be. So instead of being grass, there's dirt, and then you come back a little bit later. There's maybe like some wood on the ground then, and then come back later again. There's maybe a wall or a roof up. That could be really cool. Just, I don't know how long it would really take them to build. Maybe there'll be an animation of a chork or something with a hammer starting, I don't know, with a whatever tool they use. Maybe uses his club to like hammer in a nail. That could be dope as hell. And I think it could just be
Dude, imagine if nails are in the game and you have to nail in every wood piece.
That'd be crazy. I don't think that would happen. But it'd be cool if we could see, because chork, they're pretty strong. I'm sure he can hold a roof block and just place it down anywhere. That would be cool. And we do know there are idle animations in Hytale, so maybe there's a building idle animation too. Because goblins, they throw up bombs. What's stopping a chork from just walking around its hut pretending to build something?
Yeah, the only thing I worry about, or a question about faction expansion, is natural generation. Everyone has seen the villager huts that are 20 feet in the air, or with the cobblestone that goes down to bedrock.
Yeah.
How does faction expansion work with a more difficult spawn location? Because obviously, if a chork camp is in the middle of a plain field, expansion is super easy.
Yeah.
But what if you are a Quebec and you are in the most dense, awkwardly generated forest? How do you expand there?
Do they cut down trees? I don't think they would cut
I
down a
don't think
tree.
they would.
No, I don't think so.
But it's
So,
too dense to build a building.
well,
What
they
happens?
hollow out their trees, right? So maybe you would see them carve into a tree from time to time. That could be
Yeah.
pretty cool. Maybe you'll see them build like a small bridge from tree to tree as well.
But
That
I'm
would
just
be
like I'm just thinking. Obviously, most generations are going to be fine. I'm thinking about the fucked up generation.
yeah.
What happens with
Will
the fucked up
Hytale
generation?
have that? Will they have
I
that
mean,
messed up
surely
generation?
I don't think that's possible to avoid.
Hmm.
I'm just curious what happens with that.
Yeah, I'm not really too sure. Maybe it's a lot less common as it is in Minecraft. But then again, I don't know. Because, like you said, in Minecraft villages, freaking Buddy's living up in the Empire State Building while everybody else is just on the ground. So, who knows?
How would they expand? Group of NPCs building base by base, or one NPC assigned to one house? Oh, so are there like builder roles, or is it
Oh, that's kind
everyone?
of cool.
There's probably builder roles, right?
Yeah.
If that is the case.
I guess we'll just keep going back to Chorks because we've seen different sizes of Chork camps. I kind of like the best example here. I don't know how that would work. Like maybe if there's no shaman, there's obviously not going to be a shaman hut for a Chork camp.
Right.
But do they?
But a shaman's not going to be building.
No, but could they recruit a shaman and then boom, there's a shaman hut in this Chork village? Like what if you come
Oh.
back and there's all of a sudden a shaman?
Right. And I'm
Is
also
that the way
thinking
it would expand?
about Quebecs. Like they're not going to put the women or children to work, and they're not
No.
going to put the tree singer, the elder, to work. It's got to be the regular
Who's the
Quebec.
builder?
Who's
Yeah,
the
maybe
builder?
it's just
There's
a
got to be
regular
a
Quebec.
builder Quebec. Yeah.
Yeah.
And is it the Quebec that we see in the Error 404 page? You know what I mean? The one with the builder hat on? Hold on.
What if you just type in a fake Hytale link?
Hytale.
Flash. Hi. Let's see.
W-
It doesn't have a builder page.
Oh, why did I think that had a builder
It's a
hat
Quebec
on?
with wheat in its mouth.
Yeah, I don't know why I thought Hytale Quebec. I don't know why I thought I had a builder hat on. Because you know how some websites are like, it's under. Oh, I was thinking of this one. I was thinking of the concept art. This one. I don't know why I thought this was a
Quebec
builder hat.
builder. Let's see images. You sent one?
Yeah. I don't know why I thought that was a builder hat.
Oh,
But
it's like a little acorn.
yeah.
That
But that would work best for a
would
builder.
work best. But that's also could be a piece of protection armor for when they're fighting too.
Yeah, it's definitely a soldier because he has a spear.
Yeah, I mean that could work for building. You never know. Maybe Quebec's just take rolls. Who knows what'll really happen?
Maybe. What if there was a coverage, like a giant wall blocking up their buildings? Would they try to break the wall? What if the wall is indestructible? This is what I was talking about.
Chore camps have walls. You know those big wooden spikes, right? Outside of a chore camp.
Right. No, it's talking about like what if there was like a natural rock wall or something.
Oh.
Or like a hill, and they just like need to break it to get over it.
Maybe they could carve into the mountain.
And what if the wall? Oh, or what if a human wall built it? Like, what if we used the strongest building block? Can they just break it? Like, let's use Minecraft terms because we don't know the strongest blocks in Hytale. What if we put an obsidian wall around a Chork camp? Can they expand? Can they just break it easily?
Yeah, that's
NPC
a
powers to break any block.
That's a great question that I'm sure we will know the answer to once we get Hytale. I don't know if the dev team will confirm that right now. Yeah, I'm not too sure.
Can we interact or interrupt their builds, like placing a block or killing the worker?
I could imagine we could do that. I don't know. Maybe a block wouldn't do much because I feel like they probably just destroy it. If it's like you put a piece of wood there or something, they just move it. But
yeah, and what if you're like in the way of them placing a block? Do they just like have to wait?
Maybe they push you aside because I'm sure they're not going to place a block in you.
Push you aside and you fall off a cliff.
That'd be hilarious. There's a lot of. I mean, John, if you want to do an Ask Hytale just about factions expanding, please.
Yeah, all of these. These are all interesting questions.
Exactly.
Would they aggro towards you or just keep building? If you kill the worker, I'm sure they'd aggro.
Yeah, I'm sure the rest of the village wouldn't be too happy
Yeah,
about
there's
that.
no way you can kill the worker and just walk around like nothing happened, kind of like in
Yeah,
Minecraft.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like a villager, right? It's like you kill them and everybody's like, "Eh," and then they
Yeah,
still trade
no.
with you. So, yeah,
No, they will definitely attack you and not let you into their village anymore.
right.
Would they expand on a different biome or zone? Just imagine that the village is on the edge of a biome. They want to expand to a different biome. Would they choose to expand? Or if yes, then would they expand with a different block and structure? So we've seen a Quebec village or we've also seen a Trork camp on the edge of the zone, right?
We've definitely seen a Quebec village.
I think we've seen a Trork camp on the edge of a zone as well. But for example, with a Quebec, we know that they use a different type of wood.
Mhm.
Would they automatically transition into that new wood
I
with a
don't
new
know.
zone?
Perhaps. That's a great question. Because we know there are transition biomes in Hytale. So would there just be kind of like a pick one or the other, or would it
Yeah,
be
like
a
what if a birch, let's pretend a birch Quebec village exists and it's cornering an oak forest, and they
yeah?
expand into the or oak forest if that's possible. Do they suddenly turn into oak, or do they keep building with birch because that is their mother language, that is their original tree?
I would feel like it would probably be birch. Whatever
I think so
biome the
too.
initial,
Yeah,
like what's it called, area was started in. I think that's probably what it'll continue
I
as.
agree. Let's see. Would there be a cap on expansion? Ooh, I asked this when we originally figured out about the expansions. If not, I could see a world filled with expansions if you give them enough time. Yeah, so like we talked about this, if you just
Mm.
increase the tick rate or whatever the time, if you just speed up time times 1,000 and wait like 10,000 days, like is the Torque camp gonna
That's
be 10,000 blocks long?
that's an
Or
experiment that a lot of people are probably gonna try and do, just to see
I will try to do that
how
too. Yeah.
big
Like
can you make the
are
short
there
cap.
levels? Are there
Yeah.
levels to core? Is there like a level 1 through 5 Torque camp and then they just expand over
Will
time or
so
after something happens?
as the factions expand too, we're gonna keep Torx as the example here. Will the chieftain, will he become stronger as
Yeah,
the factions
they
expand
have
too?
to, I think.
Yeah, I think
Or
so as well.
maybe?
So it can't just be like the same level chieftain as a
Yeah, I
level
feel
1
like
chore camp as it is compared to maybe, for example, level 5 chore camp. I know
I
obviously
feel
you'll
like
have more workers and maybe more shamans and more hunters with them, but I think the chieftain should also be stronger as well.
yeah, because they haven't really talked about progression too much about how that works. We
Mm,
know that we our character progresses by getting new items, similar to how it would be in Minecraft. If you get a
right.
diamond sword, you have a diamond sword now, and you're that strong. And so that'll be the same in Hytale. If you get a cobalt sword, you have a cobalt sword now.
Yeah.
So there's no level up or anything. But does that work with the mobs as well? Like how large is the player scaling compared to the mob scaling? Are Torques always going to be weak, or they're going to be stronger Torques? Because in Minecraft everything's the same.
It's just a zombie or a
Yeah,
skeleton.
it's the
Well,
same.
some skeletons spawn with like powered bows, but they don't really do anything.
Yeah, and certain mobs are geared more towards a higher end fights. For example, piglin or what are they called?
Hoglins.
Hoglins.
God, they're so annoying.
Hoglins
They do so much damage.
Hoglins are more endgame, and so like if you go to them with your leather armor, if anyone ever makes leather armor,
You're gonna get one
and
hit.
yeah, exactly. And so would that be the same thing where like you can fight a Torque in the early game, but you cannot fight an Outlander in the early game.
Hmm.
But once you're late game, Torques become kind of easy, and Outlanders become an even fight. Is that how the progression works, or does everything
Maybe.
scale with you? Because I don't see that happening actually. Because how does the game know that to scale it up? Unless
Yeah,
it's
that's a good
like
question.
beating dungeons. Unless the story has some sort of dungeons that you complete, and it's like once you've completed the Void Spider dungeon, you are now this strength. But I don't see it doing that.
No, I don't see it doing that either. Like, unless every one of the bad characters, like the evil guys, or get like a power boost after you beat someone from Varen, and then they get stronger. But then I wouldn't like that sort of progression.
Yeah. The only thing I could see is bosses getting stronger themselves after you kill them. So like the
Hmm.
Void Spider, every single time you kill it, gets a little bit stronger, a little bit stronger,
You don't think there would
and
only
it
be
has like
one
a
Void
cap.
Spider? You don't think there'd only be one Void Spider? That's because that seems like
We're
a
talking about
very
like
cool
repeatable
boss.
fights. Like,
Yeah.
obviously, there's going to be more than one Goblin Dukes. We had
Yep.
a whole podcast about
More
that,
than one chieftain for
and
sure.
yeah, more than one chieftain, and those are all also bosses. We count those as mini bosses. So
Right.
we kind of separated like 3 different boss classes. A chieftain is going to be different than a dragon. Is going to be different than
Mhm.
Varen. Those are kind
Right.
of like our 3 separations. And so at least one of those you're going to be able to refight. I don't think you're refighting Varen, but I
No.
think you're going to refight dragons.
Oh, for sure.
I think
Maybe
you're going to
not.
refight
Maybe not
chieftains.
the void dragon, but I think.
The ice dragon.
Yeah, because I think that's maybe it could possibly be just a naturally spawning mob.
Yeah.
It could also have its own boss bar.
Yeah,
but
it could be story
its,
related or something like that.
For sure.
But yeah, that's what I think. So expansion. A lot of questions. I know John Hendricks listens to these. A lot of things to bring up.
Mm-hmm.
We obviously talked about them, and we answered questions with questions because
We did,
obviously
we don't know.
We can't give answers.
You act like
So
we're
we
developers.
just give more answers. So I think we asked like 40 questions about expansion there. A lot to go off of, a lot to think about.
For sure.
I hope that we brought up at least one question that they haven't thought about, that they're like, oh, wait a minute. Or best case scenario, they thought of all of this and they're such a good dev team that they're on top of this. They don't need us.
They're writing the blog for it as we speak.
Exactly. Well, that would be a bad. Well, no.
I would love that.
If they do write a blog, I want like a multi-blog. I want the first blog to be like new engine plus release date. Plus
imagine.
3 other blogs.
Could you imagine?
Plus 3 other blogs. Hey, you wanted to know about combat? Here's a combat blog. You wanted to know about factions? Here's factions. And then you want to know well, magic would go under combat. And then what is the 4th blog post about? World generation.
Beta.
The
creator program. That'd be sick as hell.
Yeah, a creator program or something like that.
Yeah. I know
nice.
the dev team talks so much about creators. I'm like, bro, just launch the creator program. Like, come on.
Yeah.
All the time.
Even if it doesn't do anything, launch it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like let me reserve my name or something,
I mean, that's also an interesting thing. We can go into name reservation. I mean, that's almost a whole podcast. I feel like we could do that, but like, is it going to be Riot ID? Is it going to be you log in with your Riot ID through the Riot launcher and then you have your Hytale name? It's interesting because
I don't even have a Riot ID, so this that could be late here.
League of Legends went from unique usernames for like 20 years, and now they are moving to Riot ID as well. Riot ID is similar to old Discord, where it's your name and you can pick any prefix, any number, or
it'll just be like Chris 1234 or
I think it's a 5-letter combination as well.
Yeah,
yeah, you can put letters, so you can put like CanadianFlash or something like that. Wait, I don't know if it's
I hope I just get CanadianFlash or Flash or Canadian.
Riot
like, I don't care.
ID. Tagline length 3 to 5 alpha numeric. Yeah, so LASH. Yeah, so you could have your name as Canadian and your hashtag is Flash.
That'd be pretty dope, not gonna lie.
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Wouldn't mind that. We'll see. I don't know. I just want to know about this stuff,
Yeah,
that'd be great.
I mean, no, I hope they touch about name reservation soon, because that's not spoilers. They always talk about like, oh, we don't want to spoil anything for you. That's not spoiler. That is like just a UI game mechanic.
But also, it would kind of spoil that at least we're getting close to a release, right? Like, I mean, it doesn't have to.
They tease name reservation in the very first blog post.
Yeah, but if we're actually getting it though, like if we literally have like a GUI or whatever to give us our name, I'm like, I'd be full hype train at that point. Like,
even explaining how the system works and not like giving it to us. Like, they don't have to let us reserve a name if that exists. They just have to be like, oh yeah, it's just going to be Riot ID. But I think the issue by doing that is then they confirm it's Riot launcher, which no, they have confirmed it. The Quebec is on the Riot launcher.
It is, yeah.
What am I talking about? Yeah, so it's confirmed to be on the Riot launcher.
Which is great, because some person on Reddit every like 5 months or so is like, oh my god, have you guys seen this? It's like they've seen it for the first time.
Yeah, it's confirmed to be on the Riot launcher. At least there might be other platforms like Epic Games, but Yeah. So actually, never mind. That won't be a spoiler, because even if it's on Epic Games, you still need a Riot ID. So,
Yes.
yeah. But actually, like now that I say it, I understand why they don't touch it. Because if they talk anything with Riot ID, it might be like, oh my god, like it might get too many discussions.
Yeah.
But I'm just curious if it's unique usernames or if it's a Riot ID, because I'm a little scared of Riot IDs.
Like I
In
said,
a
I
game
don't
like
even think
this.
I have one. I don't even think I have one. So my
Well,
name's probably taken by then.
no, it won't be.
Hell
But
yeah.
the reason I worry is because it's like a Discord username. We're talking about old one. It's so easy to impersonate.
Yes.
And
That is true.
especially if you're in game, there's no way you're gonna see the hashtag in game for the numbers, right?
Yeah, unless there's a way to actually like look up the player's profile, which I think that would be the only way to do
I
it.
mean, if they do Riot ID, there has to be a thing to like press tab and like look at the lobby,
Yeah.
and then it'll show their name plus the tagline afterwards, or maybe not the tagline. You hover over it and it shows the tagline, but
You could
like
type a command, like in Minecraft, how it's like, I think it's in Hypixel, you do like /profile or something, or dash profile.
yeah, I know, but
Um,
like you could probably also just press tab and like see the lobby.
that could work too.
and everyone there, but like it is scary for it's not an issue for the general player base, and it's probably better for the well, I mean, there's a lot of people arguing that unique usernames are better because it like gives their unique presence, but like in terms of like a content creator perspective, it scares me because of impersonation,
Yeah.
because anyone can be Myne or CanadianFlash, and unless you check the tagline and know what our tagline is,
Mm-hmm.
someone can just say anything or do anything and people will believe it. And
Yeah.
especially when it's in game, that's the issue. Like if you're just in game and you just see a character that's called Myne,
It
you're not
certainly would
unless you
help.
go to the lobby and check the tagline, you're gonna think it's me if it's the same
Yeah,
skin.
on big servers, it certainly would help. For example, if we were to have like a YouTube rank, because then that.
Right. If it's in the capital,
Mhm.
YouTube rank will probably get rid of that. But like even like any player made server, you're not gonna have a YouTube rank
No,
unless
you're
the
not.
server
No.
gives it to you. And so that's like what like the main issue is, like anyone can just join with our names. And unless it's right there in front of them as the hashtag, in game, they just see my CanadianFlash with your skin griefing. And they're like, oh my
Yeah,
god.
or like
I hate
literally just doing
YouTubers are getting
inappropriate stuff.
out of hand, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So,
That's my
I mean,
take on.
I personally kind of do like unique names. That's just me.
Yeah, I do too.
But yeah,
Like your name is your name.
yeah,
It gives you
and
your it's more creative.
that does
Yeah.
also increase account selling, which
Yeah, it
is
increases
also a bad
account
thing.
selling and increases a lot of bad usernames with a bunch of useless numbers. I understand that, but
Mhm.
I don't know. If there's a good way against like impersonation really is like the main thing that I'm just worried about. If
Mhm.
they figure out a good method to deal with that, I'm not gonna have any issues.
Right.
But I see that being an issue, especially with a younger player base that might not know what our tag is or might not know what or how to even check it.
Yeah,
That's
that's the
problematic.
thing, right? Like I don't want anybody to get scammed from some random Jim Bob, right?
Yeah,
Pretending to be me. That
exactly.
would be
Like
the
that's all
worst.
that already exists with unique usernames, with like
Mhm.
people making names similar to it.
Yeah, like
Um,
with an I, you put an L, and then people think it's like
yeah,
whoever. So
yeah, that's problematic. Like Discord, the scams of like people in person. You literally had one.
yeah, I did. I did have
You
one.
literally had one like last week, impersonating a big
Some
streamer.
streamer. Yeah,
Uh,
it's so annoying because like the
and
username looks exactly the same.
yeah, and unless Chris knows the exact like hashtag ID, now it's a unique username. But like, unless he knows that, how
I
are you
don't even
gonna
know
know if
how
it's
they
a real
added me on
person?
Discord. Like it must have been an old friend got hacked and then changed their username or something, which
Yeah.
is just insane.
So
Yeah.
that's an interesting discussion. That's why I'm curious about name reservation. Um, Obviously, if it's Riot ID, there is not going to be a name reservation.
Which sucks because I
It
don't have a Riot ID. I should make one while we're here.
Yeah, you should
Maybe I
make
do
one.
have. I've never played a Riot game though. Oh no, wait. I have Valorant.
You
Or I
said
had
you
Valorant.
said you got Valorant, so
Yeah,
whatever
so maybe
account
I
you
do
made
have
for
one
that.
then. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
you do have one.
yeah.
You just
Never
got to
played
figure
though.
out what the login
So wait,
for
hold
that
on.
is.
What is it? Only League of Legends then that has which one uses Riot ID? Which game? Is it
Everything.
all of them? All of the Riot games use Riot ID?
Yeah, League of
Okay.
Legends was the only one that didn't.
Okay.
And now they've transitioned to Riot ID.
So I feel like, I mean,
Every
put two and two
Riot
together.
game uses Riot ID. I don't see why Minecraft sorry, Hytale.
Whoa. But also, Hytale is, I mean, I wouldn't say it's not
Hytale's
a Riot
different.
game.
Hytale's
But
different.
it is different. It has the support and backing of Riot. It's not being straight developed by Riot games. I don't know about the other games. Was Valorant straight developed by Riot? I think it was.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm curious.
All right.
And if there is name reservations, I'd like to reserve my name. I like mine.
Me too. I'd like CanadianFlash. That'd be great. We have to also get a name of a guy called The Hytale Podcast. That would be cool. Make a third account.
I mean, we definitely don't have 5 emails signed up to the
I don't know what you're talking about. Let's end the podcast here.
Thank you guys so much for watching.
Yeah.
We'll see you in the next one.
Yeah, bye.